this time we'll ask you to please rise if you are able, and please remove your hats for the playing of the Canadian national anthem.
Well, welcome to Vaughan, Ontario, Vaughan Grove Park for a big-time matchup in the men's League One Premier Division. Top half of the table right now. Scrosoppi comes in second place, 35 points, 2 points behind Vaughan, but with 2 games in hand. So with a win tonight over Woodbridge, they can move top of the table in the men's Premier League. Third place, Woodbridge, not far behind at 30 points, 17 games played, and so any hopes of winning the Premier League title, a win, an absolute must tonight. I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. Starting for Scrosoppi in goal, the 27-year-old Andreas Weikla, well-traveled all throughout Europe and the Canadian Premier League as well. Number 4, Braden Baruski on defense. 6, Josh Paradis. Number 8, Thomas Skublak, the League One MVP from last season. Number 9, Noah Di Dominicis. 13, the skipper, Manveer Gill. 14, Ryan James, the left defender, wingback. 16, Matthew Pava. 20, Jacob Carlos. And number 5, Tristan Marshall, the youngster who's been a regular in the starting lineup since Cody Ellis went down injured a couple games ago against the Lions at varsity. I was on the call for that. And then finally, number 11, Faris Amari, the lightning quick right winger. You'll be hearing that name a lot. For Woodbridge in goal, 20-year-old Dante Ferraro, who plays his university ball for TMU. Number 2, Luca Pinta. Number 3, Gianluca Condello, also a 20-year-old. Number 4, Alex Mekzarski. Number 6, Jacob Spizzeri, the skipper, 20-year-old from Woodbridge who led Cape Breton to a U Sports National Championship. Number 8, Joe Mack, 23-year-old from York U. 9, Ronaldo Marshall. 22, Santino Di Bartola. 27, Sebastian Cochran. Number 10, Ignazio Mucilli. And finally, the 24-year-old, number 25, Keegan Wilson, plays his university ball, or college ball, for the Humber College Hawks. Well, I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. Any issues with sound, hit me up on socials, at Mr. McKee. And Twitter, the best option, just to keep, because sometimes, there's an issue with sound. We don't know what's going on. And so please, the stream cuts out. Try me on at Mr. McKee. So a bit of a windy night. It's a bizarre day. It's unseasonably cool for this time of year in August. We've gone through quite the heat wave, and now temperatures drop just a little bit, around 20 degrees around game time, but a wind picking up that's blowing almost across the field towards us at the camera. It starts almost at those bleachers and then moves to us, so should be in effect for both teams. You can see those flags flapping in the background, and so the wind an issue for both sides at the moment. And of course, that's sunshine beaming right down right now, more so, I would say, in the eyes of Andreas Weikla and the Scrosoppi players. Scrosoppi, white jerseys, black trim. Woodbridge in their home, blue jerseys with white and red trim. Skublak. Well, nothing more fitting than being in Vaughan with Survivor Eye of the Tiger playing in the background. surprising doing my game notes for Woodbridge, based on the success they've had. Still fairly young team. I mean, they do have some guys, mid-20s, but the core of their team are a bunch of 20-year-olds for the most part, 21-year-olds, and so a bright future for this Woodbridge squad. Currently, like I said, sitting third. There's Baruski. He'll get in on the goal action often. Did the game against Vaughan a couple weeks ago. He gets up on those corners and can nick one on occasion. Tristan Marshall. Long ball up for Skublak, and he's offside. Good ball from Marshall, but offside. So Ferraro, one of those 20-year-olds.
Jacob!
He's played futsal for Team Canada.
Good Tommy!
So I've done a couple, and foul in the middle of the field. Ref keeps his whistle in his pocket.
Just delay. Keep dropping.
Woodbridge back the other way. Good ball up. In the middle, the skipper, Spazzeri. Mentioned off the top, Spazzeri led his Cape Breton University squad to a U Sports national champ 1-0 win over Montreal in that national championship game, and Spazzeri, the goal scorer. Ferraro, long ball, trying to find his striker, but Baruski head on it. Di Bartola, number 22, over on the far side, as well as number 8, Joe Mack.
Higher!
Love that name, Joe Mack. Mack with the ball and dispossessed.
Just secure the ball, Jacob!
Keegan Wilson.
Wants to get out of every fucking situation. Good boy,
Spazzeri, what a turn. Ridiculous. See the skill already. It's the maestro in the center of the field. Woodbridge on the prowl. Marshall. Good switch and outstanding first touch. That was Sebastian Cochran, and can't connect with Di Bartolo on that cross. So while we have a quick lull, I'll check my Twitter to make sure no issues with that sound. So far, so good. No messages. Vikla mentioned the 27-year-old. 21 appearances for FC Edmonton in the Canadian Premier League.
Good Tommy. Second ball, Trish.
Cochran nods forward.
Keep pressing him.
Ignacio Mucilli.
Let's get there. Yeah. Good boy, Matty.
And Mucilli fouled, got his leg caught between both Scrosoppi defenders. Paredes switches, but it's intercepted.
Disconnect the lines.
Manveer Gill wearing the skipper's armband tonight. I mentioned Cody Ellis. Game I did was wearing the skipper's armband. He's been down injured. I think it was a hamstring injury. Came out about 35 minutes in against Alliance a couple weeks ago down at Varsity Stadium.
Good boy, Noah.
Cochran.
Keep doing it, Noah.
Spazzeri.
Stay, Noah. Stay.
Mczarski, 26-year-old from Richmond Hill, one of many Humber Hawks in the Woodbridge lineup. Sun beaming down on my face. It's hard to see at times on the far side of the field. Jacob Carlos Gill.
Well done, Josh.
Clever touch from Paredes.
Inside. Move the fucking ball, man. Just move the ball.
Paredes, good tackle. Gill.
Hey!
And it looks like Carlos goes to ground, and now Scrosoppi with an outstanding opportunity inside of 5 minutes. Free kick from about 26, 27 yards out. So it looks like Carlos standing over it. In that game at Alliance, I mentioned down at Varsity, 2 goals for Jacob Carlos. And it looks like Ryan James also on his left foot. Well, we'll see who will take. Ferraro setting up his wall for Woodbridge. It's looking more like Carlos probably on the right foot. Ref blows the whistle. Carlos, and not even close, puts it over the back fencing. Much ado about nothing. Scoreless 6 minutes in.
Match up, midfield, match up. Jacob, let's go.
And Ferraro
Manny, Jacob,
with a goal kick.
following the same player. Work off with Tommy here.
It's great to see a 20-year-old like Ferraro being such a key figure in League One. So many other keepers in this league. Just look at his position sake across the way. 27-year-old Weichel, Burstingo, 34, is usually a little bit older. Even guys 24, 25, 26, and so rare to see 20-year-old starter. And I like seeing it. Cochran will throw in. Cochran, 22-year-old, plays his university ball down at Houston Christian. Did between 2020 and 2022, and then was part of that national championship squad for Cape Breton this past year. Great program out east. Both teams definitely need a win, but Woodbridge, if you want to keep those title hopes alive, a W, an absolute must. And then Scrosoppi can go top of the league with a win tonight. Joe Mack and Di Bartolo fouled in the middle of the pitch, and Woodbridge on the prowl. Woodbridge floating cross, trying to find Cochran, and that wind just drifted it too far. Gianluca Candello, another 20-year-old, plays for Yorkview. Mack, clever flick in for Spazziri, and couldn't get it to his right foot. And Peva, how's that not a foul? Spazziri on Noah Di Dominicis. Spazziri, just great vision across the field, impressed even in this opening 8 minutes. My first look live at them. It's my first time doing a Woodbridge game this year, my third Scrosoppi. So a bit more familiar with the lads in white tonight. Carlos to School Black. Oh! Puts it over top of the goal. The MVP doesn't miss too many, but misses that one. So a golden opportunity for Scrosoppi. Cannot finish, but they do look more likely inside of 9 minutes. Marshall, Skublak, and he's got Ryan James trying to get up in the run with him and pushes it too far. So Woodbridge goal kick. So that wind really picking up. Can hear it rattling the dugouts, which are almost plexiglass. Peva gets his head on it. Marshall. Good ball. Di Dominicis. Carlos. Di Dominicis goes to his left foot. Carlos inside the 18-yard box. Can't get it over, but he has won a corner. Spazziri saying it went off one of the Scrosoppi guys, but Scrosoppi corner, and Ryan James will run over to take it. James, 30-year-old from Mississauga. Former third-round pick by Kansas City in the 2016 MLS draft. Great career in the USL as well. Played down in Pittsburgh, which is my favorite USL stadium. Love watching their... Oh, crossed in, bounced in, clear off the line, and they're saying he made contact with the keeper. So the whistle blown. I don't think it was anything egregious. He was just trying to get ahead on it. And Ferraro down. Now, Woodbridge, their other keeper, Ezequiel Carrasco's suspended, and so 16-year-old Nicholas Tercero, the backup, and so if Ferraro unable to continue it, getting a 16-year-old thrown in against Scrosoppi, a tough task, and so the ref just checking him out, looks to be just fine. So the 16-year-old keeper, heart just pounding right now, going, uh-oh. But back to Da Vinci goes for the moment. And that wind again coming into play there. You see the ball just hanging up and drifting away from where Ferraro wanted it to go. Gill thought he was fouled. He's not. Joe Mack. Luca Pinta up in the attack. Pinta now on his right foot, crossed in, but cleared away to safety by Scrosoppi. Crossed over for Marshall, and the other Marshall, Tristan, gets it away. Ronaldo Marshall couldn't connect with it. And Tristan Marshall gives that away. Spazzeri sitting in that holding midfield spot. Good switch from Woodbridge. Lots of space over here on the left. Condello. And then Mucilli had that kicked out by Marshall. Mucilli, 26-year-old from Woodbridge. Played down at Jacksonville University from 2015 to 18. Marshall switches. Mack, he's got Cochran on a run, but couldn't get it to him. And who was that? Ryan James tried to get it back to Vikla, but rolls out for a Woodbridge corner. Coming up on 13 minutes, scoreless. Men's League One Premier League, top half of the table. Which, with a win, Scrosoppi on 35 points can jump Vaughan on 37 for top of the table and still have a game in hand following that. Looks like Mack crossed, and that wind right to Vikla. Like I said, on the corners, that wind could cause some issue. Carlos Paredes down the far side. And ball rolls out. It's going to be Scrosoppi ball still. Well, about to approach the dog days of summer here in August. But fall, for at least now, appears to have come a little early. It's almost like that first week of school, September weather. Foul, and Didomenisis goes to ground. That was Joe Mack pushed him in the back. And it looks like Ryan James on his left foot will come over and try to connect with someone on Scrosoppi, just hovering around the 18-yard box. Woodbridge will hold the line there. James also sit in the CPL with the Halifax Wanderers. Ball got caught up in that wind again. Paredes looking for a foul. He was just screaming at the ref, didn't like the foul on the other side. Ref keeps his whistle in his pocket for the most part so far. And so that sun glaring across the field. I'm holding my arm over my eyes to try and keep track of the play. Gill. And Gill, 25-year-old from Brampton, the skipper, played at the University of Guelph. And this Gill flicks up. Skublak. And Skublak couldn't connect. Marshall. And Mac was shouting for it, but then when Marshall delivered, Mac didn't run for it. Paredes. Paredes, 31-year-old. He's played futsal for Team Canada. Also played at Humber a while back, 2013 to 16. James to Carlos. Carlos, can it be? And the ball deflected somewhat on Woodbridge, just threw a body in front. Looks like Keegan Wilson just threw himself in front of it. Rolls out for a Scrosoppi corner, but Scrosoppi, you get a sense one coming. They've had the better chances inside the first 17 minutes, and another good one there, and then Skublak a few moments ago. Feels like only a matter of time. James. Well, we've yet to see Faris Amari's name in this game. Got to get him involved. And a little bit of miscommunication. Ryan James was trying to shout off Tristan Marshall, but Marshall wanted to get ahead on it. Ferraro, before he joined Woodbridge, played with Vaughan and Rush Academy as well. He's trying to send everyone up. And again, this ball coming right to me on the sideline. That wind, Ferraro hasn't figured it out yet that he's got to kind of almost aim far right. It's almost like when you're playing golf and the wind's coming in, play or draw. If the wind's that much of an effect. I have a golf show called This Week in Golf that's nationally syndicated. Check it out. News Talk Saga 960 in the Toronto area and all across BC and Alberta, a couple stations. So to throw a golf reference in. Condello. Played 12 games for York Lions. Such a deep team. They've got about 4 teams, like four full, squads of 15 guys they could roll out there. Like I said, I did a Friday night Masters Pickering game, and one of the guys, Daniel Avila, one of Masters' best players who I've known for years, he's with York for 2 years, couldn't even get in the lineup. And this guy's an outstanding, League One championship level player, who's played League One for Masters over the past couple of years. That's how deep York goes. Quick water break for the announcer. Mentioned Vaikla has played internationally for Estonia. Big dude. It's that prototypical goalie frame, goes a good 6'4", maybe 6'5". Skublak nods forward, and Di Dominicis can't control. Cochran will throw in. Coming up on 20 minutes, still scoreless here at Vaughan Grove Park, between Martin Grove and Highway 7, and in between Steels and Highway 7 on Martin Grove, not far, just steps from the Ontario Soccer Center.
Keep pressing, keep pressing, keep pressing, keep pressing, keep going, Manny! Higher, Tristan! Higher!
And Spizziri goes to the ground after a little knock.
We have him pinned, Dave. You can't foul him out, man. We have him pinned.
Spizziri, 4 goals in the regular season in his U Sports campaign. Wilson won a CCA National Championship in 2021 as a member of the Humber Hawks.
Let's go, Tommy! Come on, Tommy!
I got to do the play-by-play for the 2019 CCA National Championships out at Durham College. At Durham 1. It was a lot of fun.
Excellent. Tommy, get back
Got to
up.
see some of these League One players in action.
That's ours. Keep pressing him. Keep pressing
Cochran and Carlos unnecessary over his back. You know, Cochran was going nowhere and didn't need to foul him there.
Stay high.
The wind kind of dies down momentarily and then picks up. Pretty unpredictable would be the best way to describe it. Woodbridge on the creep. And poor ball right to Manveer Gill in a white jersey. Who's that? Paredes down the left wing. Black, the striker, back playing a little deep, helping out his midfield. Love to see that. There's a Black, 24 goals last season in League One play in 17 games. We see every week now he's the number 1 target, and there's a foul. He just goes to ground too easy, but effective. It looked like Di Bartola, the 21-year-old from Bolton. And so, I mean, you can't really have a shot on goal from here, so try to connect with Marshall or Mczarski, excuse me. He's up in the attack, one of the Woodbridge defenders. Good ball in, but Vikla claims no problem for the big man. Vikla content with slowing things down. He's got Tristan Marshall to his right. Tristan played international for St. Vincent. Can't connect. And missed the call there, but Paredes. Marshall's got space. Tristan down the right wing. Marshall. He's got great speed and power. And cross with no real intention on it. Didn't even break the side meshing. Coming up on 24 minutes.
No fucking bitching. Play the game. Let's go.
Ferraro, well, he hasn't figured out the win yet. Hopefully this time figures it out. Aim right, it'll float center. And he does. Di Dominicis. Noah, 21-year-old from Brantford. He's played at Brock U, as well as a stint in 2021 at St. Bonaventure. Cochran on his horse gets it. Cochran drops for Mack. Good run from Mack and bounced off Tristan Marshall. Run out for a Woodbridge corner. 25 minutes gone, scoreless at Vaughan Grove Park. Men's League One Premiership. Watch for the short one. Joe Mack changes his mind. Which in that wind will have us home. You want to put a bit more power on it. And it doesn't. It's just kind of ugly and floats out. I've spent a couple afternoons up here watching my son play over the years. And it's one of those places, normally in the winter, it's just absolutely scorching. So surprising tonight to see a little of this cool breeze coming over. Still plenty of sunshine left. It's 7:25 local time. Vikla. Skublak, such a commanding presence. And Marshall, he's got Muchili all over him. Oh, Skublak off his shoulder. That was nifty. And rolls out. Still going to be Scrosoppi ball. So if you're just joining us, Scrosoppi white jerseys, black trim. Woodbridge blue jerseys, white and red trim. Long throw for Skublak. And Matt can't keep it in. Well, the Olympics finally wrapped up today. It's kind of Olympics out, to be honest. You enjoy it for like a week, and then you're like, enough already. Gil. Paredes. Speaking of Olympics, volleyball, Melissa Umanas Paredes. Silver for Team Canada with Brandy Wilkerson. Ball rolls out. Yeah, I did watch some of the Olympic soccer. As I said, the men's, that Spain-France final, it was entertaining. Enjoyed watching the Canadian women. But then once they kind of exited, I lost a little interest in it. And Ferraro, 28 minutes gone. Friday night we were out in the Pickering Soccer Center, which is literally 4 minutes from my house. And Ferraro again has kicked this one out of bounds. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. It's like kick it in the center of the field. And floats. Oof, it was right at the camera, so shouts to our fourth official for blocking that. Not taken out of my computer. Barutsky, 23-year-old, played at Liberty University for a couple years and then finished his career at West Virginia. Mack also played down in the NCAA at Marist College before coming home to play for York U. It seems like, a lot of the guys go down. It's, that's the dream, obviously, especially with NCAA basketball and football. A lot of the guys have this notion there's a foul, but no, ref not having it. Here comes Carlos with Skublak. Skublak on his right foot breaks through. Skublak right at the keeper. And he had all the time in the world, and he shot it right at the keeper. And Ferraro down injured again for the second time tonight. I mentioned just the 16-year-old keeper, Nicholas Chichiro, the backup, for Woodbridge, and this is the second time Ferraro has gone down, knocked up. Well, School Black, another golden opportunity missed for Scrosoppi. Just carved right through the defense, but instead of going left or right, went right at the keeper. A quick water break for me as well. Ferraro. Not looking good for him right now. Mentioned their other keeper, Ezekiel Carrasco, the 21-year-old. That's made one Canadian Premier League appearance for York United back in 2020, out suspended. So, 16-year-old backup. Talked about this as well during the Friday broadcast. Getting grief for some of the mistakes we make during the broadcast. Keep in mind, when I do this, I do not have any monitors to see what's going on, no replays. I have no producers in my ear. Like when I call Canadian Premier League games, I literally, when I do that for One Soccer, I have 3 different producers in my ear to tell me, who scored the goal, who the foul was, if I can't see, or any kind of issue. Let's say the goal happens right in my ear, the audience doesn't hear it, they'll be like, it's number six. And so then I can say, Paredes with the goal. Get none of that. So, going to make mistakes, just roll through it. It's me and a microphone. A little old school, but always blessed for the opportunity. Also, get no notes in advance. When you call games for CBC or One Soccer or whatever, each team or the league itself will provide boatload of notes and pronunciation of all the players. Get none of it. Just got to do all the research myself and plug it and go. So a little bit more organic. So mistakes will be made. So Ferraro looks to be all right. Well, that's twice. Took a knock.
Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys.
And a drop ball for Woodbridge. Keegan Wilson. Di Bartolo dispossessed by Paredes. And then Di Dominicis. Marshall. Now the other way.
Get it again. Take space, man.
Marshall. Oh, Gill. Bad giveaway. And I don't think he even got a touch of him. He just went to ground. Ronaldo Marshall. Yeah. I think playing that one up a little bit. I'm right in front of it. I didn't see any contact whatsoever. Either way, Gill now with a yellow. Well, that injury certainly should add another 3 or 4 minutes of injury time when we get to half.
Stop, Josh!
Spazziri. So the sun beaming right into the camera's eyes and my eyes. Makes it difficult to see what's going on that far side. Here's School Black on his horse. School Black, can he cut in? And Ferraro comes and claims. The first touch let School Black down a little. He pushed it a little too far forward and then didn't allow himself any space to cut back. Gondello. He's got Cochran down the left wing, but Baruski clears away to Di Dominicis. Jacob Carlos flicks up for School Black, and School Black offside.
Fuck's sakes, man!
Second offside for School Black.
Move on. Fucking bailing them out, man.
Well, 35 minutes gone, still scoreless. Men's Premier League, top half of the table with a win. Scrosoppi can move into first place and still with a game in hand on Vaughan. Woodbridge on 30 points. Scrosoppi on 35, Vaughan on 37. So a win, an absolute must. I don't think a draw does much for Woodbridge tonight if they have any hopes of, long shot, obviously, because they're going to need a lot of things to go wrong for both Scrosoppi and Vaughan. But either way, I still think, you got to throw the kitchen sink at them and go for that win. Nobody cares, if you finish third or fourth, but first or second, a little bit more glamorous, right? The Dominicis can't get by Cochran, and that one looks like the ball went over the fence, and so have to wait for a new ball to come from half. Marshall throws in to Paredes. Gill just picked up that yellow, so he's got to watch himself now. No foul called. No. Well, Chile down the left side and cleared off. Scrosoppi guys yapping at each other. Not happy with some of the service. Migzarski, errant pass. Migzarski, former OUA East first and second team All-Star during his days at Ryerson. Now TMU, but it was Ryerson when he was there, so I can still call it Ryerson. Even though most of the coaches still call it Ryerson. James. For Skublak. Ball sits for Skublak, and then one time shot it right at the keeper again, right into the stomach of Dante Ferraro. So Skublak's had opportunities. Just can't convert. That's his third pretty solid chance. And then once over the goal, twice right at the keeper. Di Bartola. Ooh, and Ronaldo Marshall got a head on it, but flicked it over. I think Vikla was there. He was ready. There wasn't a lot of pace on that ball, and so barring a slip, I think Vikla would have been there to claim. Vikla. 38 minutes gone. Still scoreless. But all the opportunities for Scrosoppi. All gets hung up in that wind. Ooh, and then Skublak takes a shot to the face from Joe Mack, and the yellow comes out. So it looks like maybe an elbow to the chops of Skublak, who went down hard, and the trainer will come out. Well, Skublak. Looks like he took it right to the nose. Or maybe even the eye. Trainer working on. He took a pretty good shot there. It was right in front of me. So again, I think we got to go about 5 minutes injury time with all this between the keeper and now Skublak down. Well, plenty of football left so far. Skublak up, quick drink of water, and should be fine. Which is Skublak, 26-year-old from Hamilton. Played at the University of Guelph as well as South Florida.
The last one's on us. The last one's on us. Of course. Got all day.
Also stints in Germany and for the Halifax Wanderers as well.
Get in the box, Trace. Get in the box, Trace.
Pava.
Stay high, stay high, stay high.
I haven't said too many defenders' names of Scrosoppi tonight because all the play in the Woodbridge zone with Scrosoppi on the attack. Spazzeri just clears away.
It was off thumb last, man. What do you call? Offside on Tom.
Well, it was an offside, apparently. So it won't be a Scrosoppi ball with Spazzeri clearing. Mexari clears long. Not a lot of build-up from Woodbridge. Everything is long ball, kick and chase. They've got to find some sort of link between that midfield and their forwards. I want to see the forwards come back and play a little deeper, get involved and help out the defense. Gill.
Guys, let's get it in. We can get the ball in the box.
Spazzeri. Too cute in the middle of the field. And then he picks up the foul quick. Ronaldo Gill stands in front of it. Di Dominicis
Get number.
on his right foot to Carlos. And too soft across the 18-yard box. Di Dominicis to Gill. And Gill hammered. Di Dominicis still in there. Paredes goes to ground. Gill had to watch it. Man, he was already on a yellow. And the pass too much.
Play, Tommy, play. Go support him. Go support him. Hold on.
Ball came right to me. I had to stop it.
Get in. Fuck no. Come on.
Marshall and Ferraro.
I warned Peter, I'm warning you. Can't do that, right? Chile.
Come on, Jacob. Come on, Jacob.
Chile dancing through his foul, but ref plays the advantage.
Guys, get back in.
Mac. 43 minutes gone. Still scoreless at Von Grove. Scrosoppi specifically. School Black, 3 great opportunities. No goals. Di Bartolo dispossessed. Carlos. And good slide tackle by Spazzeri.
Get higher.
And then he's back up again, makes another play. Outstanding from Spazzeri. And Manvier Gill. One skipper stops the next. And Gill had Mochili on his back. Takes it quick. Skublak. Paredes.
Go higher, man. Read the fucking game. Get in.
Gill, he's got space. Let's see, maybe someone have a go from distance. James. Clever ball for Carlos. Carlos, it comes to him. Carlos dancing around. And he finds goal! Jacob Carlos in the 45th minute. There was a sense it was coming for Scrosoppi, and it does. 1-0. 45 minutes gone.
Boys.
Well, I talked about that a few moments ago. It was, they were due. They've been due for about 15, 20 minutes. And the maestro, Jacob Carlos, just dancing around that 18-yard box. The ball got a good bounce and fell right to him. And then he's able to slot it past Dante Ferraro. 1-0 Scrosoppi.
Don't ask the man.
So if you're Woodbridge, obviously, I mean, get to half. Do not concede. Only 3 extra minutes. Surprising. I thought it would have been a little bit more as far as added injury time between the 2 injuries to the keeper Ferraro and then Skublak down as well. So just before the stroke of halftime, Scrosoppi finally with the breakthrough. 1-0 Jacob Carlos. Mac, well, if you're Woodbridge, it's now or never. You got to get to half. You know, if they can nick one before half, it'd be great. Cochran and Borutsky. Spaziri. They're calling for a handball. Hit the shoulder. Vikla comes out and scoops it up. The Dominicis back the other way. And foul by the Dominicis. Well, 46 minutes gone now. Yeah, I think Woodbridge has got to make some sort of switch at half. Just nothing happening for them up top. And maybe they need some pace, I think. An injection of speed. It's just been all Scrosoppi for the most part in the first half. And it could be 3 or 4-0 already. Ooh, and Paredes. And he's going to get a yellow just before half. Not the smartest of fouls, unnecessary to put yourself in that position. These guys also have to watch, at this time of year, yellow card accumulation. All these guys so key over the remaining few matches for Scrosoppi. Next week, I think they're out in Burlington. I'm on the call for that, and then I know we're going to be up at Massey Field up in Barrie when they play Simcoe in a few weeks. I'll be on the call for that as well. Cochran, dangerous ball, but cleared by Baruski. Carlos, he had Amari on his horse, but just didn't recognize it soon enough. So Amari normally on that right side the last couple games. I've done the left side of the pitch tonight, fairly quiet. A lot of the run to play down the right side right in front of me. Temperature definitely dropping. It's getting a little chillier here up in the Martin Grove and Highway 7 area. Gill, he's on a yellow. Paredes also on a yellow for Scrosoppi. Vikla away. You can see the wind just hanging that ball up. Well, the 3 added minutes gone, and the ref blows the whistle for half. So Scrosoppi will take a 1-0 lead to the break, courtesy of Jacob Carlos, just before the 45-minute mark. We'll take a 15-minute break, come back for the start of the second half. I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget, click subscribe, that red button. Stay up to date on all things League One whenever their next match is happening. Also drop a follow on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or TikTok. See you back for the start of the second half.
You sub? Sub? Yeah, yeah. Fire him up. Is it for 10? For 10? Did he come in? I love you for 10.
Well, welcome back for the start of the second half here at Vaughan Grove Park. Men's Premier League action, top half of the table. Scrosoppi with a 1-0 lead, courtesy of a 45-minute strike by Jacob Carlos. One substitution of note for Woodbridge, number 11. Franz Mella enters the game. 20-year-old from Toronto who's played at Humber College. He'll replace number 10, Ignazio Mucilli, a 26-year-old from Woodbridge. And so Woodbridge, I mentioned, coming in third place on 30 points, 5 behind Scrosoppi, and 7 behind Vaughan. And so a win, an absolute must for Woodbridge. Point doesn't do them really anything. And Scrosoppi, with a win, will move top of the Premier League table. Look at Miles Green checking out. How are the notes? Are they acceptable? There we go. Yeah. Look at Miles Green reading what I wrote about him on the notes. So. Well, back to it. Keegan Wilson dispossessed. The Dominicis for Carlos. And the touch just not quite enough. Imagine that wind circling quite a bit. Cochrane over that far side. Gondella as well, number 3. Long ball up. Joe Mack can't connect. Well, James will throw in. Carlos flicks. And Amari can't get to it. Amari, 23-year-old from Mississauga. On a trial over with SC Viennese in Portugal. Alex Ziss also playing over there as well. He's on the bench tonight. Yet to see him. Marshall. Tristan. The youngster, 20 years old. A lot of promise. Mentioned plays internationally already for St. Vincent. Mentioned it before in the broadcast. One of my son's teammates with Toronto Skills a couple years ago. Lovely ball. Amari. To Carlos. And can't settle. And Spazziri just clears away. Oh, lovely touch. And then James hammered in the back by Ronaldo Marshall. Unnecessary because there was 2 Woodbridge players there. Didn't need to foul him and did. Manveer Gill on a yellow. Skublak. That's what Skublak does so well. He's such a big, strong dude. He can hold that ball up and then wait for his midfielders to make those runs. Prototypical striker, what you want your strikers to look like. Big, strong, fast. Here he is again. He's got Wilson all over his back. And good ball over Amari, and nobody up there running to get on the other end of it. Amari not happy. Guy's not making a run down the right side. Dante Ferraro, the 20-year-old, plays at TMU. Should be heading back. Well, those guys a bit of a luxury. I mentioned my son headed back to Sault Ste. Marie for Algoma yesterday for their training camp. But guys in Toronto don't necessarily have to do that. They go to their university training in the day, and then that's it. Marshall for Pinto. Crossed over. Vikla got his feet kind of switched up. If someone's on the other end of that, it could be 1-1, but Scrosoppi a little fortunate there. Good ball over by Pinto. De Dominicis, good effort. Pinto. Mella, the substitute, just came in, creeping up.
Left foot.
And there is a handball hit Cochran in his hands. Everyone's shouting for it on the Scrosoppi bench, and the ref agrees. Just joining us, Jacob Carlos with a 45th minute strike to put Scrosoppi in front. School Black 3 golden chances in the first half, so this one could be done and dusted already. Still just 1-0. But again, no real threats other than that one cross right there. A good sign of life for Woodbridge to start the second half. But they've got to push. They got to find something. Marshall can't get to it. Pava. Clever touch. Well done by Scrosoppi to not panic, and let's work that out. Barutsky. And clever on the back. Well worked up by Scrosoppi, and that's what's been lacking by Woodbridge tonight. James with oodles of space and a poor ball. You don't see that too often from James. I mean, a 30-year-old so poised. Could argue perhaps the most tenured player on the pitch tonight. Between his career in the USL and the CPL. And then also playing at Bowling Green University. Foul, Franz Mella. And the ref not having it. Skublak gets up to Carlos, and Carlos just offside. And the referee pulls his flag up. So one thing I don't like there is, you know, the Woodbridge player is sitting there having a conversation with the ref while Scrosoppi's getting on with it. And if Carlos stays on side, different outcome. But it's the captain, Jacob Spazzeri, 20-year-old from Woodbridge. Assuming he'll be heading back east sooner than later for his university season as well. If he's headed back to Cape Breton. I don't know if he is, to be honest, so. You just won a national championship, why not? Still 20. Gill's got to back up Spazzeri on his left foot, and ball rolls out of bounds. It bounced off Barutsky, and it'll be a Woodbridge corner. Well, coming up on 53 minutes gone. Woodbridge looking for something. Mack crossed in and just floated too far. Was trying to connect with Keegan Wilson. Couldn't. Cochran. Wilson.
No. Come on, Forrest.
Knocked out by Gill.
Manny, let's go, man. That one has to go.
It was a kids' game. It's like a young girls' game going on behind us. Probably about U12 or 13. Certainly not as intense as this matchup.
Forrest, stay there. Stay inside.
Always love watching the kids play, though. Brings me back. Cochran. Pinto.
Tristan, come inside. Ryan, watch, Ryan.
Spazzeri
Top of the box.
trying to dance past Marshall. And De Dominicis comes and helps out. Gill. School Black.
This side. Go, Forrest.
He's got Amari on the run. Amari, great ball by School Black. I think Amari just hesitated momentarily. If he had a ran right from the get-go.
Rob, Tristan.
There's Mella. Good ball up. Pinto.
Let's do it. He's fucking. There's nothing from him. Watch the overload here, Forrest. Watch the overload.
Looks like a substitution coming from Scrosoppi in the next few minutes.
Manny, where the fuck are you?
Dancing through, shot on goal, and it's in! Out of nowhere, Woodbridge has leveled. Gianluca Condello just carved through Scrosoppi's defense, and a shot from 25 yards out handcuffs Vekla, and it's 1-1.
Let's react. Hey,
Wow.
Let's go.
Well, against the run of play, Woodbridge finds one. Like I said, that's pretty much their first decent opportunity on goal tonight. And what a strike.
Let's go.
So game on. So Scrosoppi just caught asleep momentarily on the defense. And Gianluca Condello now levels for Woodbridge. Well, that was a shocker. Well, now can that inspire Woodbridge?
Scored in the 56th minute by number 3.
Which with a win, Scrosoppi moves top of the Premier League. With a draw, Vaughan will maintain that lead, but Scrosoppi still a game in hand. Well, Condello, the 20-year-old, which plays at York U. Great strike, just hammers it low and on goal, and Vekla just frozen. Mella. Wilson. You can see that's given Woodbridge belief. Paredes. To James. Paredes with Marshall breathing down his neck. Good switch by Gill to Tristan Marshall. Baruski. This big boy. Was about 6'2", 6'3". Paredes. So Woodbridge, everyone back just about defending inside their own half. And poor ball by Gill, no one on the other end of it. Well, 58 minutes gone. 1-1. Marshall, good ball to Carlos. Carlos cutting through to School Black. School Black tried to cut to his left. And Woodbridge gets it away. Gill goes down, and we'll have a free kick here. Taken quickly. De Dominicis to Carlos. Goes to ground. No everyone on Scrosoppi wanting penalty, the shout, but ref not having it. He was in a good position to make the call. All the way back to Vikla. Paredes, one more to James. James has got plenty of space. Gill, too easy. He's got to be more aware. Everyone's shouting man on. Mac crosses, and then Pava did just enough to block. Well, the sun finally setting here in Vaughan. Spotlights on.
Watch back post.
So that sun finally out of everyone's eyes. Vikla. And he was in a bit of a battle with Marshall before picking it up. Carlos, and good D by Wilson.
No touch. Let's go, Ryan.
Now they're saying went off James, and so it'll be Woodbridge ball. Pinto. It's funny watching the Scrosoppi guys. You know, it's the communication there. Sometimes not always all positive, but they're talking to each other. It's almost like that Jerry Maguire, you think we're arguing, but I think we're finally talking. "60 minutes gone. And we're about to see Omari Cotterell enter the game, 24-year-old from Pickering. From Dunbarton High School. My high school, and teammate of my son for their loss of championship squad back in, I think, 2018 or 19. And then silver medal in OFSA. Also played his university ball at LaSalle. Carlos and Ferraro. For a moment there, it looked like it was challenging, but Dante Ferraro does a good job of climbing that. Comes up limping a little. He's already been taking a few knocks twice in the first half. The wind has died down significantly. As you can see, the flags not flapping as much as they were in the first half. With Woodbridge throwing on the far side. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget, click subscribe, that red button. Stay up to date on all things League One. Be notified anytime there's a new game. Scrosoppi, a couple games coming up. Mentioned one, I think, is Burlington, and then I know the final one up against Simcoe, which would be a great one. Simcoe, after a tough start to this season, is kind of settled. Last year's League One champs. You know, that's what happens when you're the champs. You get everyone's best. And if you're not at your best every night in this league, you're going to pay for it. But it is. To James. James has got the room. Attack. To Skublack. Skublack. 4 blue jerseys all over him. Marshall. Great ball over. Amari. Paredes on his left foot. But what a save. Ferraro. That ball was dipping. Great shot by Paredes. But an even better save, Dante Ferraro. Yeah, talk about the chances Scrosoppi have had tonight. Unfortunate with just the one goal. Paredes. Oh, terrible giveaway right to Marshall. And then Soccer 101, you make that mistake, you give away, you get back and reclaim that ball, and Paredes just did that. Skublak. And hammer, that's got to be a yellow on Marshall. It is. So Ronaldo Marshall.
Yellow card issued in the 64th minute. Division strikers number 9, Ronaldo Marshall.
So Ferris Amari out of the game. Omari Cotterell will enter. You know, Amari, a little quiet tonight, and he's been outstanding the previous 2 games. It just got a little lost down that left wing tonight. Everything was over on the other side of the field, the run of play, and so didn't really get the opportunities to get involved. And now Omari Cotterell will try his luck, which is 76 games played at LaSalle University, 16 goals, lightning quick. Great size on him as well. James. Wind now at Scrosoppi's back. We can see the flags. It's almost the wind blowing right to left on your screen.
We have numbers on this side. Noah, demand the fucking ball, brother.
So it looks like De Dominicis has come down the left side, and Omari Cotterell will play down the right wing. So Noah has switched to closest us here on the sideline. I'm sandwiched right in between. I'm right next to the Scrosoppi bench and a few feet away also from the Woodbridge bench. Carlos Wilson, good D, and then Carlos fouls him. Just out of frustration. 65.5 minutes gone, level at 1. Men's Premier League action. Scrosoppi on 35 points, trail Vaughan on 37. You know, the way Scrosoppi's played tonight, not to come away with the 3 points would be a massive disappointment. Woodbridge fortunate to be in this, but it just shows, you know, what a good squad Woodbridge is. Not their A game so far, but still managed to find something courtesy of Gianluca Condello. And he leveled it early in the second half in the 56th minute. Jacob Carlos, which is just on the 45-minute mark. And there's Carlos again. Mack. Oh, great run. Here comes Woodbridge again. 2-on-1 to Marshall. Ronaldo Marshall. And Matthew Pava. Solid defense back. Woodbridge on the counter. Well, Scott Scrosoppi asleep again.
Go, Tommy.
Paredes. He's got Cotterell with him on the right. Cotterell first touches, and then he's hammered. Jacob Spaziri. And we're going to see yellow for the skipper from Woodbridge. Spaziri now in the books. So impressed with Spaziri's game. This is my first look at Woodbridge tonight. Oh, this guy just a maestro in the center of the midfield. Exceptional skill. Great vision, too. You know, when you're right here at field level, you get a good sense of the speed and pace of the game. And to see what these guys are seeing, especially Spaziri, impressive. Ryan James, the 30-year-old, will stand over this. 6 games played last year for Halifax in the CPL. Floating Cotterell flicked back in, and then Carlos. And Well done by Carlos to win the throw-in. Bounced it off a Woodbridge defender. We've had a blast calling League One games all summer. You know, at first it was challenging to kind of get the rhythm because games I was doing maybe like 3 weeks apart. It's like I need one game a week just to keep the reps. It's just like the players. You take 3 weeks off, you're not going to be as sharp. So it's comforting now for the rest of the, basically all July and August, at least 1-2 games a week. Makes things a little easier for me. And also you get the familiarity with the players. You know, this is my third game now doing Scrosoppi, so it's a little easier trying to figure out who's who. We're going to see Woodbridge with a substitution momentarily. Dujan Martin is going to enter the game, as well as Exos Kedibu, 23-year-old from the Congo. James. Gill, he's on a yellow. So now one of the substitutes will be Di Bartolo, who's coming out. Cotterell. Marshall. Dangerous ball from Tristan, but James can't get on the end of it. But does a good job to go claim that. De Dominicis, and he's hammered. And not a smart play. Unnecessary from France Mella, taken quickly. Carlos. And Ferraro will come claim. So Mella got away with that. It was an unnecessary foul because they had the Scrosoppi attacker pinned over in the corner. Didn't have a lot of space to go, and unnecessary foul. Mentioned momentarily, we'll see Dujan Martin, 22-year-old, who's played at Daytona State. And then we're also going to see Exos Kedibu, 23-year-old, who's played at Humber, as well as down at Parkland College in Illinois. Gill. And Carlos hammered. That's got to be a yellow. That's 2 in a row from Mello. And Mello fortunate not to be in the book right now. That's 2 fouls in 2 minutes. Well, looks like we're going to see the substitutes right now. Ronaldo Marshall coming out of the game. So Exos Kedibu, 2023 CCA All-Canadian with Humber. And here's Dujan Martin coming in. Mentioned 19 games played at Daytona State, 9 goals. He's also played with Vaughan. Well, 71 and a half minutes gone, 1-1. Jacob Carlos at the 45th minute in the first, just before half, scored to give Scrosoppi the lead. Gianluca Condello, not far into the second half, leveled with a lovely strike from distance, about 25, 26 yards for Woodbridge to level. Here we are. Cottrell. Gill. Night and day from the first half. All Scrosoppi first half. Woodbridge impressive in the second. Amari. Paredes. And he's got KD ball all over him. So Exos Kedibu, OCAA West Player of the Year this past season for Humber. Luxury of, how deep Woodbridge is. You got a guy's Conference Player of the Year in Ontario coming off the bench. I know he got here late when I was over checking on pronunciations with coaches and stuff like that. And they were like, he's not here. And this was about 45 minutes before kickoff. And then he got here maybe about 20 minutes or so before kickoff. Flicks to James. Can he get on the end of it? James! And a sliding save from the Woodbridge defender, Franz Mella. Scrosoppi will have a corner closest to the camera. Once you're out there, drop me a follow on Twitter at Mr. McKee. Also my Instagram, undrafted_free agent. I'm always posting highlights. Try to get a couple player interviews post game, and someone's down. I can't quite see who it is. Looks like maybe Spazzeri. But while he's down, I'll take a quick water break myself. So went to McDonald's before the game, which I rarely do because I'm one of those annoying vegetarians. Haven't eaten meat since 2012. But I was like, get an Egg McMuffin and some fries. Just something close. I was a little peckish before the game. Just wanted a quick snack. So I ordered the Egg McMuffin and fries. They say, yeah, go drive over there. We'll bring it to you. I said, no. Just cook it. So then I had the 3 women in the drive-thru all arguing with me. And I said, the time where I said, you could be cooking my Egg McMuffin. You could be making my French fries. So I just, because what happens is, I've done that before. They say, go sit there, and you sit there for 10 minutes. They forget about you. Oh, that guy's sitting out there. I was like, no. Go get the food. Don't forget about me. Bring it to me. So hit me up on social if they're the they're the problem or if I am. Looks like Mella, he was he was the one that threw himself to block that. Looks to be all right, though. James, dangerous ball flicked by Marshall, and nobody could get on the other end of that for Scrosoppi. I mean, the opportunities they've had, it could be 3-4-1 right now. Instead, we're still level at 1, just past the 75-minute mark. McZarski. Pinto. Oh, what a tackle by Carlos. Right in front of me. Good job to keep the whistle in. And then here's Omari Cotterell on a break. Slides, and he got a poke on it. Omari Cotterell, fresh off the bench, has given Scrosoppi a 2-1 lead in the 76th minute. The speed on Omari, unbelievable. Just slid and poked it past Ferraro. 2-1 Scrosoppi. And if they maintain that lead, they'll move top of the Premiership. What a goal Omari Cotterell talked about. Just his speed, lightning quick. Great ball through. And that all started with that slide tackle by Carlos. And just great stuff from Scrosoppi there. Omari Cotterell. That's it. Look, you don't need to get a whole lot on it. Just got enough on it and poked it past the keeper. Well, game on. Let's go. I think it's justice that Scrosoppi is in the lead. They've been, for the majority of the game, the better team. Woodbridge has had their flashes, especially here in the second half. Well, we'll talk about the right substitute. Oh, Kedibu on his horse inside the 18-yard box. And too much good defense by Scrosoppi. Strength in numbers. Wilson over the back of School Black, and he draws the foul. It is. I got a good look at that. He gave School Black a yank, it looked like, and did enough to pull him down.
Relax, Ryan. Relax. Yeah. Tommy, be ready.
And the ball too much for School Black. Ferraro, unfortunate not to get a piece of that. Ooh. Meza also stepped on James's head. Surprised Ryan's all right after that. We're going to see another substitute momentarily for Scrosoppi. Marcus Channer is going to enter the game momentarily. Channer, 22-year-old, played pro in Lithuania.
Here. Keep doing it. Let's go. Keep doing it. Right, here you go.
Speaking of depth, Scrosoppi's depth, impressive. Still without their skipper, Cody Ellis. Cotterell. De Dominicis. Ooh. I don't think any player in this league takes as much physical abuse as Thomas Schoolblack. It's, De Dominicis gets by Wilson. It's got to be a penalty. It has to be a penalty, and it's not.
No way! Stop. Fucking stop, Ryan! No way!
Well, obviously the Scrosoppi's coaching staff
Marco.
not happy.
Give me a yellow. Come give me a yellow.
Scrosoppi's management begging for the yellow at this point. Yeah.
Noah's down, he's coming off. Go ahead. Noah's down, he's coming off. Go ahead.
Well, the yellow, obviously the view I had of it was the same as the Scrosoppi coaches. I'm right by them, but looked like a penalty. Well, De Dominicis is coming out of the game. He's down injured, and Channer is going to replace him. It's an interesting vantage point where I'm at to see, you get the full window between the conversation between the coaches and the referees as well as their players.
Jacob, you're going in Noah's position, yes?
De Dominicis coming out for the instructions. So it looks like Jacob Carlos will come wide and Marcus Channer will go more in the central position where Jacob Carlos is. Mentioned Channer's also played at McMaster as well as with the Oakville Blue Devils. 81st minute, Scrosoppi 2, Woodbridge 1. And that wind picking up again as nightfall upon us. Beautiful sky in the background up here in Vaughan. James. And not the ball he wanted. Spazziri. And he's got Kadibu making a run. And that ball well cleared away into the other park behind us. Mella takes the throw quick. Schoolblack. Trying to find some kind of space. Gets by Mella. He didn't need to commit. They always say, defense 101, no need to dive in, and he dove in. Gill, always this calming presence in the center of the pitch. The captain for Scrosoppi. So smooth. You hear some of the emotions on some of the other players of Scrosoppi. Manveer Gill doesn't have that. This guy is just composed from start to finish. De Dominicis limping. Looks like something to do with his right foot. So that'll be key for them over the next couple weeks. Some of the teams, remember, the odd team will lose a few guys, university guys, over the next couple weeks. Marshall. Marshall trying to shield Cochran and does a good job. Rolls out for a goal kick. So a substitution. Defender off for Woodbridge. Luca Pinto out. Number 5, Carmen Fiora enters the game. Well, strength sub, defender for defender. When you're trailing this late in the game, you would think defender for attacker. But alas, that's that. Maybe just they noticed Pinto's out of gas and needed some fresh legs. Little Fiore, 22-year-old, offside for Scrosoppi. Oh, that was Marcus Channer offside.
Tanner, you're almost in the back five in front of the two center backs.
And then gets his first touch. Fiore. Spazziri.
Got it out. Got
Good
it
long
out.
ball for Wilson,
No, man. Tanner,
but he can't get on the other end of it.
Jacob, let's go. Jacob, let's go. Tommy, let's go, man. Let's go.
2-1. Coming up on the 84th minute. School Black. And Channer, good slide tackle. That's the effort you want when you see a guy come fresh off the bench. Get in there, make your presence known in the game. Amari Cottrell did, fresh off the bench. Puts Scrosoppi in the lead. Jacob Carlos, first goal for Scrosoppi just before half. And then Gianluca Condello leveled for Woodbridge before Amari Cottrell reclaimed the lead for Scrosoppi. Mentioned if the score stays as is, Scrosoppi moves top of the League One Premier table. And a foul, Keegan Wilson all over the back of the linesman. He's not happy with the call. Wilson's been solid, the 24-year-old. It's getting chilly up here in Vaughan now. So Spazziri
This is your run. This is your run.
getting into it with the ref. Obviously, emotions flaring here in the remaining 5 minutes and then some. Got to be at least another 2 or 3 additional injury time minutes. Vikla up for School Black. And cleared away, and if you're Scrosoppi, fine with it. Just let the seconds tick away. School Black, and the wind kind of allowed that one to roll out. And Ferraro, a bit more urgency now for Woodbridge. Migzarski. 26-year-old from Richmond Hill, former OUA All-Star, and then last season with Humber. Ooh. Ooh. So Meza getting into it with Channer. Meza just forgot about the play and was like trying to pick a fight with Marcus Channer.
This guy's fucking cooked, man. Get him out of here, man. This guy's cooked, bro.
And a yellow each, Meza. So a yellow to each.
Marco, it's his second, eh?
They're saying it's his second. Did he get one earlier? No,
Tommy,
they don't have one. No.
Leave it, Tommy.
No, it's his first, I think.
No, it's his second.
Is it?
Hey, Marco! Marco! That's his second, Marco! Marco, that's his second! Ryan! Second, man. That's his second yellow, man. It's not his first. I promise you, not. We were begging for the second one earlier.
Well,
He fucking kicked the guy from behind.
Meza,
Second, man.
everyone's saying, yeah, it is the first, yeah. So Meza, both him and Channer pick up a yellow on that. And again, that's all stuff that, well, especially for Scrosoppi, is they come down to the end, the accumulated yellows. I don't have that information of who's got what and who's going to be forced to sit out, crossed in, and then Gill to School Black. He had Carlos on the run, but the ball got tangled in his feet. Paredes, ball tangled in his feet as well. Finally gets it to Cottrell. Coming up on 88 minutes. Baruski, solid. Channer. You know, I'm okay with getting that yellow. As soon as you come off the bench, it almost like acclimates you to the speed of the game quick. Oh, lovely ball up for School Black, but the flag up again. Too many offsides from School Black tonight. It's at least 3 or 4. Get away with 1 or 2, but once you get to 3 or 4 at this level, not a fan. It's got to have a bit more awareness with that. Coming up on the 89th minute. Looks like we're going to get 5 additional minutes. So plenty of football still left. I thought there was more injuries in the first half than there was in the second, but cut in. Carlos. Can Carlos get by them? Ooh, couldn't get it up. Ooh. Ryan James with a little message for Carmi Fiora. Yeah, I wish this mic picked up more of the the excess sound in the back, because it'd be a bit more entertaining. Here we go. Ryan James, can he keep it in? He couldn't. He couldn't. Well, it's still going to be Scrosoppi ball, so they can slow things down and just let more seconds tick away. The fourth official about to hold up the sign for 5 minutes. School Black. We would just keep it down in that corner, try to draw a foul, poked out, and again another throw in for Scrosoppi. A little surprised at the 5 minutes, but is what it is. The old saying. Wilson, and he goes to the ground way too easy. Which, I mean, a guy Wilson's size going to ground like that, it's come on, man. A big, strong dude. He's not going to drop that easy unless he's doing it on purpose. Katie Boo. And Amari Cottrell, just a revelation since he's come off the bench and then goes to ground hard after that. And I can't see who's over there getting that yellow. Oh, there's the red. The second, that's Franz Mella. So there's his second yellow. So Mella now will get the red. So Mella came on as a substitute, and now he's just picked up his second yellow and a red. He's gone. So that's just not smart play. In this, in a game of this magnitude, you just got to play smarter football than that. So Amari Cottrell on the ground. He's right now got the winning goal. So Cottrell still on the ground. He took a hard crack right to his shin. I could hear it from here. But it was like, Mella, trust me, I've done that in men's leagues, but in like bad men's leagues where I'm like, I'm not even in the mood and it's hot and you're like, I just want to get out of here. I'm going to have a crack at someone I don't like and I'll take the red and go home. That was almost the mindset of Mella here, but this is League One Premier Division. Well, that 5 minutes is now going to become probably 8 or 9 with Cottrell's injury. Carlos got the first one. Can he get the second? What a save. Dante Ferraro. Ferraro's been good. Unfortunate on, especially that second goal came out, tried to make that sliding save, and then Amari just got it underneath him. Martin.
It can go!
Marshall just clears long. Oh, clever play by School Black to dummy that. And Carlos will take it. He's got School Black with him. Oh. School Black. To Paredes. Paredes! And Ferraro. Too easy for him. Coming up on the 94th minute. Marshall. And he's hammered from behind, and not a smart foul by Katie Boo. There was no need for that. You've got Scrosoppi pinned deep with a defender. Well, Jacob Carlos not too happy with the challenge. He was hammered by Carmine Fiora, but the ref played the advantage. I think if he doesn't, Fiora's going in the books, but no even.
I love this guy, but he's so fucking hard. Stay together! Stay together!
94 and a half minutes gone. Vikla. Vikla hasn't had a lot of work to do tonight. He's a couple almost just like crosses and then another foul. But Ferraro's definitely been the busier of the two keepers tonight. Decent crowd up here on Woodbridge's home field, but quiet. Haven't had a lot to cheer about with Scrosoppi the more dominant team for the better part of the game, other than, say, the first maybe 10 minutes of the second half. Woodbridge was. Just couldn't sustain that, though. And then too many silly fouls and undiscipline. We mentioned with the win, Scrosoppi moves top of the Premier League table. A couple games left following. So this one's still wide open between them and Vaughan, but I think following this game, it now just becomes a two-horse race between Vaughan and Scrosoppi. And there's the final whistle. So Scrosoppi, courtesy of a goal by Omari Cotterell off the bench, lightning quick, slid it past Dante Ferraro to give Scrosoppi the 2-1 win. Well, I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget, drop me a follow on socials at Mr. McKee. That's my Twitter, and then my Instagram, undrafted_FA, undrafted free agent. I'll be posting some highlights from the game. We'll see you back next week for Scrosoppi Burlington, I believe.